Sometimes if my guests are lucky, they'll get a chance to experience the indigenous canoe building and techniques and celestial navigation that's being preserved by the Seafaring Traditions program here on Saipan. On this day, one of the participants, Tyler Warwick, gave us a really good education about the materials, the construction process, and even actual sailing positions.
It's a seeded breadfruit, same family.
Okay.
Come from Rhoda.
From Rhoda, okay.
Yeah, the one that's like really red. This yellow one here are like the lemai, which is like very closely related to the dogdu. They're the same. There's just one has seeds, one doesn't have seeds.
Yeah.
Like these parts came from Rhoda, the big parts, like these ones.
Yeah.
We go after the breadfruit because it's.
Is this teak?
No, these are local mahogany.
Beautiful.
Introduce the darker woods, the reddish color ones. They're a little bit more heavier, but it's still locally grown.
Yeah.
But it's an introduced in the 60s.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken. But yeah, we have hibiscus. This one we call it pago. Dauk, banalu. Those are the local woods we use. And there's no nails in the boat, there's no metal. Everything is all lashed together, custom fitted.
Does this have outriggers then?
The outriggers on this side.
Never really sprung like this, creeping through my mind all night and day. I watch you like you're on my wrist. Come over, I need you.
Hi, my name is Walt. It's time to discover Saipan.
Get several trees and then plank them out and then custom fit it.
Okay.
To every part here is like we carve it, we put it up to the boat.
Yeah.
Like when it's like we split the tree in half like this.
Yeah, yeah.
And we split that in half.
Yeah.
Then we have to carry it up to where it needs to go and then fit it. They mark it with a marker.
Yeah.
Then we cut it. And then we thin it out to it's more easier to carry.
Yeah.
And then just up and down every time until we get it to fit. And then we run for these parts, the seams.
Yeah, yeah.
This is a rope inside, but then we run a handsaw like this to get the fit tighter and tighter and tighter. And then there's a gasket in the middle. So it's glue, gasket, glue, and then tied together.
Yeah.
And then when we're gonna lash it, we kind of put a temporary rope first.
Yeah.
And then they put, when it's already getting thin, they put a temporary rope with the holes, and then you can carve it up there to get the shape, you know. And then when they approve for you to glue it, then you glue.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then these glue are these are marine adhesive 5200.
Okay.
But before the traditional style, they use breadfruit sap.
Okay.
And then they mix it with like ashes and coral and lime and there's a bunch of ingredients that go, and then there's a process that you go to the jungle, you score all the breadfruit on one, and then you gotta go to the place where there's a lot of breadfruit, then you score all the trees, keep going down. By the time you reach the end, you come back to the front, and then you scrape with your knife and put it in a jar or a container. Then you take that to the beach, and you already prep your corals and your ashes, whatever ingredients that needs to go in there.
Mix it up.
And then you go in the water, and then you're gonna pull it, and then it goes to a stick. It goes to a stick. They put the glue on a stick, and then they have a fire. And then that's what they use. The traditional gasket is the young coconut. Yeah, so they carve the young coconut skin. They burn like a coconut leaf, and then they heat that glue, and then they put it.
Yeah.
Then you put that gasket, and then on the other side too, you know, and then there's already ropes in there. You know, there's holes, so then it goes down. There's rope, you know, rope. Maybe not every seam or every hole, but like one, and then the guys are gonna put when they're gonna already the glue is on there. You put the rope, then you have to, before you tighten it, you put the stick inside. Okay. Like a wedge. Yeah. And then everybody all together they're gonna count. Yeah. All right, 1, 2, 3, a hammer. Once everything is tight. Yeah. And then everybody gotta do it at the same time, so the thing will go down evenly, getting tighter, and then you let that set. Yeah. And then they come back, remove the temporary ropes, maybe do some more carving if they want to,
Yeah.
and then you do the final lash.
That's
like this one.
amazing. So painstaking to
Yeah,
do.
painstaking work.
Okay.
It's like it's supposed to be like plenty people like doing this, which makes it like fast, but
Yeah.
this one-
Okay. You start with a board that's flat, but then you've got to contour it.
yeah.
So maybe to create, how do you create this curve? Is that from fitting the board in?
Well, we fit it in first, and then like they just carve it. We just
Okay.
stand there like this, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
you know, there's
Okay.
actually a
all
line
right.
that they'll put on it.
Okay.
So
I
the
gotcha.
board, when it goes up, it's like 4 inches
Oh,
thick.
all right. I got you.
So they can like, you know,
Yeah.
they're gonna use the ruler, the long ruler, and
Yeah.
then you can, you know,
Yeah.
make whatever shape they're gonna make.
Yeah. Do you have blueprints to, you know, to describe the dimensions of the board, or how do you know that the boards are going to fit? It's the right length. It's the right thickness.
There's no blueprint on this boat. Everything is all in the mind of the master carver. So we follow the master carver's command. He's the one in charge of putting the line. Us, we're just carving.
Yeah.
Listen, and he's gonna tell you stay away from the line, or you can cut the line. Sometimes you can cut the line if it's still thick.
Yeah.
But most of the time when it's getting like already close, then they'll say, depend on how experienced of a carver you are. If you really, they see that you're good with the carving, then they trust you more. They tell you, okay, go ahead, cut the line, make it the way you want it.
I see.
But if you're more inexperienced, less experienced, you know, they'll always tell you
Yeah.
to. And also before you cut, you have to ask.
Okay.
You have to ask
Sure.
first, can I cut?
Yeah.
So that's a big part of it, is to have respect. You know, you cannot just go and cut, and
Right,
you know,
right.
when they're not watching.
Yeah.
You have to always make sure there's a line, and then ask first, is it okay I cut this?
Yeah.
How do you want me to cut this? You want me to cut up to the line? You want me to
Yeah.
stay away from the line?
Yeah.
Where do you want me to exit?
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
when you're carving down, when you're carving, the tools it's usually comes out.
Okay.
So sometimes they'll tell you carve it straight down all the way, or exit halfway through.
Yeah. Sure.
So that's
Yeah.
part of the learning process.
When I looked inside this boat, I thought to myself, that's pretty narrow
Yes.
for the people to be comfortable.
Yeah.
And
So this boat, the inside here is made for cargo and things that you know, like coconut. They take a lot of coconut. We're gonna build like a small kind of like a net, or with bamboo or sticks, to kind of like put supplies inside. Whether it's mostly coconut, and like for our drinking, maybe water. Nowadays
Sure.
we use water, plastic containers, but before they're just loading coconut in there.
Yeah.
Whether it's the hard coconut or the young coconut for drinking.
Green, yeah.
And people don't, not really inside the boat unless you're bailing.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Okay.
bailer always stay inside the boat, but the crew usually your feet is here. This is where you stand. I can get up there and I show you. I'll get
Oh,
up
I'm
and
sorry.
So you just
we'll take a photo afterwards.
this is where the crew. This is how you are on the canoe. So this is where the mast. This one that you're leaning on.
Yeah.
This is the mast.
Okay.
It's not done yet, but it's
Yeah.
gonna go here.
It's in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
straight up, and it's gonna be doing like this. If
Okay.
you're going that way, the mast
Yeah.
is there.
Okay.
Go that way. Front, back, burst style, stern and bow.
Yeah.
Either way. You
Okay.
can go this way, you can go that way.
Oh.
The crew usually
Oh, wow. Oh.
sitting here,
Yeah.
and then this piece right here, there's a rope. That's what you're gonna use to control holding the sail.
Huh.
Either somebody can, the navigator, the women usually stay here,
Yeah.
this place.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then sometimes they're holding the rope for the sail here,
Yeah.
going under this wood
Okay.
here,
Yeah.
or somebody taking turns. You have jobs, you have shifts
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
canoe.
Do you have a rudder for the boat?
Yeah, there's a rudder. We haven't made it yet.
Okay, but which, is it at this end? Is this the rudder?
the rudder gonna go on the opposite side of the outrigger. So outrigger there,
Yeah.
the wind's coming there.
Okay.
The rudder is usually out there. On
Okay.
that side.
I got you.
So when you're gonna rudder steer this vessel, you're here. There's a steerman here.
Oh, okay. You
Like
got
this,
somebody
so
just
you
for
have
the
a
rubber.
thing like this, and then you're gonna do like that.
And that
can tie a rope
that
there.
person's coordinating with
Yeah,
the
somebody.
sail.
There's like a crew, like a shift. You know, one person like watching,
Yeah.
one steering,
Yeah.
one holding the sail,
Yeah.
and depending, like maybe this boat is gonna be like 6 man going for long voyage.
Yeah.
So you have usually like 3 on, 3 off.
Yeah.
Everybody taking turns, and if somebody needs to bail, maybe the 4th person will be in there bailing.
Yeah.
And then you take turns, relax, and
Yeah.
everybody has their time to work,
Yeah.
and everybody moves around. If,
Yeah.
so you don't burn yourself out,
Yeah.
especially if you're going the long voyage.
Yeah.
Us, it's probably not that long because Guam is close, Rhoda is close, so it's not that. It's only a couple of days. I mean, it's not too bad. I mean, it's not like you're flying in the airplane. It's more dangerous if you're in the airplane.
You could use this to go to New Guinea and down to Australia or something.
I mean, if you do those kind of voyages, of course you have to stop, and maybe it's better you have other boats with you. But like for this size boat, it's mostly for inner island travel.
Okay.
Maybe if there's more canoes, 2, 3 more, then we can go together and we go farther. Go Yap, go Palau, those islands down south.
And you also know where you could stop along the way.
Yeah, you always stop on the islands. They have a course that they follow.
Right.
I don't know yet. I haven't been there. This is only what I observed from what I listened to from them. I haven't been on the water yet, and this boat hasn't touched water yet. So I haven't been on a long voyage yet. But
Watch you like you're on the
Subscribe.
Come on,
You know what am I saying?